Before we dive into today's explosive breakdown, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, turn on notifications, and stay with us until the end. Because what we're about to unpack has left millions of South Africans stunned, confused, and asking one chilling question. What exactly happened in Johannesburg during the G20 lockdown, and why was the truth kept so quiet? Stay with me. By the time we reach the last minute, you'll see why this story has everyone on edge. Johannesburg woke up to something it had never seen before. Entire blocks cordoned off. Roads shut. Shops forced to remain closed. Security details sweeping areas hours before officials arrived. Officially, it was presented as routine security for international delegates attending the G20 Africa Dialogue. But residents, business owners, and even some municipal insiders whispered a different story. A story of miscommunication, panic, rushed decisions, and a city left in chaos. People began asking, why did the lockdown feel more like a crisis response than a diplomatic protocol? Here's where things get interesting. Multiple local organizations had already warned the city about critical infrastructure problems, power grid instability, staffing shortages, and ongoing water system failures. And yet, right before the G20 event, the city suddenly shifted into a complete freeze, as though preparing for an emergency they weren't publicly admitting. Commentators began to wonder. Was the G20 lockdown a coincidence? Or was it a convenient way to mask deeper issues unfolding behind the scenes? Stay with me, because it gets more intense. While government spokespeople gave brief, carefully worded statements, Joburg residents began sharing videos online. Police blocking off neighborhoods with no explanation. Emergency vehicles parked in unusual formations. Power outages in specific zones. Water pressure dropping hours before the lockdown. Everything looked too coordinated to be random, yet too disorganized to be planned. People started saying, it felt like someone knew something we didn't. Some analysts suggested the lockdown might have been triggered by unconfirmed security alerts connected to hosting world leaders. Others argued it was actually about preventing embarrassing infrastructure failures during the G20 arrivals. Meanwhile, critics of the presidency accused Ramaphosa's administration of overreactive secrecy, creating panic instead of clarity. With every hour that passed, Joburg looked less like a host city, and more like a city under siege from its own uncertainty. Let's be clear. There is no confirmed scandal, no verified plot, and no proven wrongdoing. But what is undeniable is the sense of confusion, fear, and frustration felt across Johannesburg. Whenever information is limited, whenever explanations feel incomplete, whenever communication is vague, that's when the phrase hidden truth begins to spread like wildfire. And that's exactly what happened. Civil groups, legal networks, and even opposition figures began calling for a full report on who authorized the lockdown. Details on the security threats that justified it. Transparency about the state of Johannesburg's infrastructure. Explanations for the sudden shutdown of utilities in certain areas. Whether those answers come or not, people are no longer willing to simply accept what they are told. This story has awakened something deeper. A sense that ordinary South Africans want clarity, accountability, and honesty, no matter who is in power. Was Johannesburg truly locked down for safety? Or was the government trying to prevent an embarrassing public failure during one of the world's most important gatherings? We may not have the full truth yet. But one thing is certain. South Africans are watching more closely than ever before. And this story is far from over. If you want part 2, where we break down the political fallout, leaked insider reactions, and what this means for South Africa going forward, make sure you subscribe right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because the next chapter of this story might be the biggest one yet.